Raperda di Kota Bandung.
Izin Pak Wali membantu ini Pak. Yes, just describe about the process of legislation committee meeting, in which the initiative could come from the executive or the local government, or come from the internal members of legislative or city council. When the draft of a certain regulation is proposed, then it will be discussed in a certain committee, which we call a legislation committee. When it is agreed, then it will come to the preliminary meeting to have the final decision on that proposal. If it is agreed, then it comes to the executive again to be issued as a local regulation. Then it is formally can be enacted by the rule. And finally, the member itself should have a representative from his faction to more detailed discuss and asking about the aspiration from every faction in the city council.
Membahas masalah eksplorasi lembaga teknis pengusulan Raperda tentang perpustakaan dan tim penyusunan naskah akademik. Selanjutnya.
The previous slide was talking about how the process of discussion in the city council. This is one of the last issue discussed in the working meeting at Hoxik. This especially on the exploration of technical initiative is coming from the executive or local government. In particular, the proposal was about regulation of on the library and academic paper drafting. Last week, the city council had the meeting to discuss about this, and it will, if it is agreed, then it will come to the preliminary to hear the aspiration from each member of the city council itself.
Dan nanti ini ada perda-perda yang telah ditetapkan pada tahun 2014. Nah, ini adalah perda-perda yang telah ditetapkan di tahun 2014. Selanjutnya.
This is some sample of local regulation which has been issued and agreed by the city council members through the preliminary meeting in the last year period.
Seperti tadi yang saya sebutkan bahwa perda ini kan ada inisiatif dari eksekutif dan legislatif. Nah, di sini ada title dari produk perdanya, ini inisiatornya di kolom selanjutnya 3 dan selanjutnya.
Thank you for the visit. Yeah, welcome to the City Hall. My name is Ridwan Kamil. I'm the Mayor of Bandung. So next month would be my 3 years in the office. In Indonesian politics, we have 5 years and maximum 2 terms. Yeah. In the United States, it's 4 years, right? So we are 5 years. Indonesia has changed a lot throughout the history. We were having our independence 1945. So last week we had you have 4th of July, we have August 17. So we are having 70th anniversary for our independence. Are you staying over in Bandung? Good. Because you come in the perfect timing. Tonight we close the main street. Yeah, Asia Africa. You will see people doing lots of things because we have a regular coffee night, we call it. Yeah. In busy street we call it Saturday night, and everybody will come and celebrate Saturday night. Yeah. So you can see the local. So I invite you to visit. Maybe Pak Anwar nanti can assist. Yeah. So we are having independence 1945. The democracy was what we call guided democracy. Guided democracy means it's like not a full democracy. It's a bit tyranny in a way. Yeah? but give people some option to make decision, but not in a 100%. We are also very young in terms of democracy. We still far away from your political stability. We have only two parties, Republic and Democrat. We had our direct election only 10 years old. Before the president was chosen by the parliament, but I think SBY ya yang pertama pemilihan langsung. Yeah, I think 10 years ago, more or less, we were having the first direct election. And I'm saying Indonesia is a peaceful democratic country. We are the biggest Muslim country, but we are not Islamic state. So it's totally different mindset. So in daily basis, we are just like you, watching Hollywood movies, eating pizza, having Big Mac for lunch, but we are practicing our belief. So it's different with Middle East. So if in the future, if we want to discuss what Islam, let's talk with Indonesians, because we are the biggest Muslim. The whole Muslim in the world, in Middle East, combined, still less than the whole number of Muslim in Indonesia. So we are representing the majority. So if we, in the future our generation wants to discuss this, let's discuss with Indonesia. Yeah, because we are the majority. We are moderate Muslim, but we are too humble. So sometimes we are a bit different like you. You have a speak up your mind attitude, while in Indonesia sometimes you reserve not to say too frankly, consider by culture is not so polite. Because of that we have this what we call too humble kind of perception. Again, that's what we are. Indonesia, ada peta Indonesia nggak? Indonesia also is so diverse. We have 17,000 islands, so we are the biggest archipelago in the world. So if you compare Indonesian map with USA map, same size, length and width, but we are sliced by oceans and straits. Yeah. That's why throughout history, so many cultures happen because isolated of this islanders conditions. So out of 17,000 islands, we have 700 languages. That's why we are the biggest trilingual people in the world. Like myself, I speak Bahasa Indonesia, which is national language, taken from Sumatra ethnicity, Melayu, Malay. So we speak like Malaysian the same. I speak my mother tongue language, which is this region called Sundanese, but different logic. And I speak English because of my education. So most Indonesian in general speak English. Because of so diverse, it's always a challenge for us to be united. Yeah. We speak different languages, ethnicity different, culture different, way of life different. That's why the founding father, the Sukarno, invented what we call the guiding principle of our nation. We call it Pancasila. Kamu cari ke YouTube ya, yang video Soekarno pidato di Malaysia, and then I love Indonesia. So Sukarno once invited in 1960 or late 50 to United States, meet JFK, meet Marilyn Monroe, yeah, during reception. I don't know what happened after that reception. FBI, CIA, classified files. But Sukarno was invited to speak in Congress. It's very interesting. I need you to watch this very short. Ada suaranya sedikit ya? Pas bagian yang ke Amerikanya. This is in New York. The only Indonesian president greeted like this in the history of Indonesia by American people is Mr. Soekarno. I don't think modern leaders after him got this warm welcome by Yankees.
Our independence in August 45, we have passed as preamble to our constitution the Pancasila, the 5 guiding principles of our national life. First, believe in God. Second, nationality. Third, humanity. Fourth, democracy. Fifth, social justice.
So, volumenya mati. So that's basically who hold us within our differences. We have an issue, of course. People try to push their own agenda with very narrow-minded. But the birth of Indonesia was based on these 5 guiding principles. So we, number 1, believe in God. Number 2 is humanity. Number 3 is nationalism. There's an issue with Papua, there's an issue with Aceh. It's always, we try to hold together using the third principle. Number 4, democracy. That's why democracy is still something we try to look which democracy is suitable to our context. Is it American democracy? Is it UK democracy? So we still try learning that one. Yeah. So I'm the product of direct elections. Yeah. So I campaign like American way. I knock door to door. I'm using YouTube, I'm using Facebook, I'm using Twitter also to send virtually the message to people. And during the final vote, I competed with 7 other candidates. I was nobody, but I'm using very scientific way of campaign. And I won landslide 45%. So from that mandate, because in Indonesian politics, you just need only 30% to be elected. So that's the democracy that we are having now. And in 2001, we have what we call decentralized policy. Yeah. Before 2001, everything need to be consulted to the central government. You can imagine how slow the change, right? But after 2001, we have decentralized policy. Then I can make decisions 74% now. The remaining 26% I have to consult it to the governor office, I have to consult it to the center. But I can do lots of innovation, creativity within my 76% power. That's why if you see Bandung, more or less that's the political context that we have today. Indonesia, ada peta lagi, berikut apa ya? Indonesia has around 240 million people. 240 million people. We have more than 500 cities and regions. Yeah. Metropolitan around 100, 400 is regions. Surprisingly, the number of mobile phones in Indonesia is 270 million. So we are the country where mobile phone outnumber the population. Like this gentleman, they have 2 mobile phones, some 3 mobile phones. So why? because Indonesia is a talkative nation. Our tradition is not textual, our tradition is talking. That's why we have some difficulties to trace history, because our ancestors never writes into document. They love to talk, to chat. That's why Twitter is very popular. Jakarta is the #1, the most active Twitter user in the world. Bandung #6 in the world. Yeah. Because we transfer our verbal culture into social media. Yeah, it's basically just transfer. So that's what we have today. Indonesia grows now 4.5% economy. Getting slower because of the global. But Bandung as a city, we grow almost 9%. So we are one of the best performing economy in the country is the city of Bandung. We are the closest metropolis to Jakarta. Yeah. That's why Jakarta people every weekend is like this. They scramble to come to here, bringing their own cars and jamming my city. That's why my challenge as a mayor with the approval from the parliament is to create a proper public infrastructure. This is where I ask American enterprise to come. Bandung alone, I need $8 billion opportunity investment in the form of public transport, in the form of telecommunication business, in the form of property. So if you want to see the future, please look at this region. By end of 2015, the whole ASEAN will be united, like European Union in a way. That happened end of the year. So it means we will move around and do business, and that population of ASEAN is 600 million. Indonesia is at 240 million. McKinsey study shows if we can maintain the growth at least 5% consistently, by 2030, 15 years from now, we will become the 7th biggest economy. Now we have 60 million middle class like us, who can buy iPad every 2 years. Yeah? 2030 will be double to 120 million of middle class or consuming class. So again, if you want to see the change in Asia, now maybe in China, but it will slowly move into this Southeast Asia. That's why as a mayor, I have to capture this 15 years opportunity into something. And this something is my vision to my city. Bandung will be designed as a creative economy city. So we are focusing on ICT, we are focusing on added value economy. Bandung is a metropolitan, coba foto-fotonya. This one, we were #4 as an Art Deco city in the world, collection Art Deco. Dutch colonial founded Bandung 205 years ago. We are Highlander society. Yeah, we have our altitude is 800 meters above sea level. This is very cool. We are in the valley, and 360 degrees we are surrounded by mountains. So in Bandung, there is no such thing as best view, because all direction is mountain. So you just choose your mountain to the east, to the west, to the north, to the south. So you will see lots of touristic destinations like this in many parts of Bandung area. That's why last year we are voted the city tourism destination #1 in Indonesia, because our creativity in creating culinary culture, the people love to hang out. Coba video culinary night ada. And this one is my vision and our vision about Bandung, because we don't have natural resources, we don't have energy resources. What we have is a capital human resources. We have more than 50 universities and colleges in Bandung alone. So every year we receive thousands of incoming students to study. That's why from 2.7 million populations, 60% is under 40. So this is the city of youth, including the mayor himself, yeah, more or less. I'm early 40. So, nggak usah pakai lagu. While I'm talking, you can see the video. We closed the street culinary festival. Pak Anwar, hari ini ada culinary festival di Jalan Sansang. Ya, di Lengkong, dia dekat dari Asia Afrika, Kalfrina, geser dikit. So you can taste the local food, which is interesting. So if you see this video, this is our population. 60% is under 40. We love to hang out. That's why we're totally different with Jakarta. The city is more walkable, and the city is happier. Yeah. 3 months ago, we did a survey using local standard, and we are the happiest society in Indonesia. So if you travel tonight, you will see so many smiles within my people. So this is the way we try to build Bandung. I graduate from UC Berkeley, so I see some of you from San Francisco, in Google also. So I lived in States for 5 years. My son was born also in Queens, in New York. Yeah. So I went to East Coast first, working, then moved to California for school, and working for American firm in San Francisco and in China before return. So I think this is the right momentum. Why? You are having a new breed of leadership in Indonesia, which is come from the young generation like me, and coming from professional background, riding this direct election democracy, and in which the democracy is peaceful, not like in the Middle East. Yeah. So we are a peaceful democracy country. We are riding the stability of economy, and because of that, we are offering that. Please send a message to fellow Americans. Let's discuss the future of us in any form, in the form of political discussion, in the form of economic discussion. I visited United States last 2 months ago. I have 35 agenda I did attend, including establishment of Global Smart City Alliance with Washington DC and some American cities also. I went to Portland. We have an agreement with Portland to send my staff learning the sustainability aspect of Portland. We will having sister city also with Oakland in San Francisco. We already have a sister city in Fort Worth, Texas. Yeah. What I'm saying is, please see this statistic that I have been discussing with you to better understanding about my country. That this country is the key to hold the nation, and getting people like me will become the leader of these nations. And we are very open-minded Muslim. We are very tolerant, and because of the guiding principles. Last video. Itu aja, alun-alun dulu. And Bandung is the only city who started what we call happiness projects. I live in the West, but I think the West is too tangible thinking. Yeah. So Bandung, we have what we call happiness projects. It's intangible value. We think that advanced society is happy society. So we translated this happiness into series of programs that our culture think this is the way we do. So it's not always economical statistic to measure how advanced the society. So after we did a survey, we found out that number one that create happiness is mingle. Lots of people meeting people. So that's why I upgraded 10 city parks the last 1 year. Like this one that you will visit tonight. It's the city center. Last year was fines, dark, full of street vendor criminals. Now we make it open. we redesigned, and now the hotspot in Bandung is this area. Another happiness project is we asked the fellow city official to go on the road more often, instead of you staying in the room as a district official. You reach people, you meet people, you talk to people more. So this new attitude has been there for a year. So now people feel that government is connected. Yeah, the government is closer to them, is in their neighborhood and so on. And besides the happiness index, Bandung is the champion of the smart city movement. So we transformed the last 12 months the way we serve people, from manual to digital, from closed data to open data. We open many data now. From corrupt by system become clean by system. For example, permit, we make it online now. Pay the fee for permit is also online. And the permit will be sent by postman. So no people meeting with the official to reduce the potential of under the table corruption. And KPK, the Anti-Corruption Commission of Indonesia, give us an award last year because the number of corruption reduced significantly using this system. And we are awarded to become the host for Anti-Corruption International Day this December. Public service also much better now. Video itu, message. After this, if you have time, I'll bring you to our command center. It's next door. In Bandung, we are the first city in Indonesia to have a room, like a war room, where we can control everything, from internet data, traffic data, internal data. We can tap whatever people talk in social media, so we can make analysis. And this is the place. We designed it like a Star Trek cockpit, so you will meet our local Mr. Spock later. And we designed like iPad, so we access that. So this is the new way of a smarter government. We can check our e-budgeting, we can check our budget absorption database. We don't have to go to the site to check our infrastructure project because the contractor will report by photo and by video the progress of infrastructure. We report weekly about the absorption of the contract and so on. So accumulative of that, we can have a clear. We have a citizen complaint online, one complaint, one page. So we have 9,000 complaints so far, and 90% solved because of this. And because of this, I can give review and appreciate the department who answer the complaint faster and give punishment to the department who slow respond to the complaint. We inform our people about projects that might hinder their traffic. We put GPS in our vehicle. It's designed by IBM. The same team who designed the Rio de Janeiro Command Center. So we need the best to work on this one. So after this, you can imagine the remaining 500 cities in Indonesia can follow Bandung model on this one. This is social media mapping. So I can check today each district is discussing what issue. It's based on, and this is the best one. In Bandung, you don't have to call 911 for emergency. Just in case you are too panic to call, you just press the screen of your mobile phone. And this screen will ring the alarm in our command center, and the police will dispatch the closest patrol to the scene. Sometimes during the criminal issues, you are too panic to make a call, but just motoric comes, you can delay 2 seconds, 3 seconds to press something. So this quick pressing is the one we are creating now. So Indonesia has lots of good software engineers, but they don't have a stage to show that they are clever and smart. So by having this smart city, I'm offering to them the stage for them to work on better city management. Last one, while Bandung is upgrading to be the creative city, I'm inspired by your Silicon Valley. So there's Google here, yeah. Kate. So Kate, because Bandung is 60% under 40, the closest metropolis to Jakarta, more livable than Jakarta, this is a right place to find an ICT business. Yeah. Next month, we have a groundbreaking with the American company named UTC. It's an aerospace company. I asked them, why you choose Bandung? This is $100 million investment. They said because you have world-class engineers, more livable. It's not as livable as your cities yet, but it's getting there. And affordable cost of living compared to Jakarta. So because of this, we're creating what we call a Bandung Technopolis. Bandung Technopolis is a new town in the east of Bandung that will become the most futuristic development in Indonesia. So we create smart city from scratch. We invite Marvel technology to come, is owned by Indonesia. We invite plug and play also. We are talking with plug and play to have similar institution in Indonesia to match our startups with venture capital and so on. And President Jokowi is building the high-speed train between Jakarta and Bandung. So compressing the time from 3 hours, 4 hours to 30 minutes travel time. And that happened, my 9% maybe go double digit, who knows. Yeah. Many people will live in Bandung, work in Jakarta, and vice versa. So I think by having that will be summarizing your Indonesia 101 or Bandung 101. This is exciting country, exciting city, but less exposed to the Western media and Western world. I'm happy you are here, so maybe after the visit you can send a message to fellow Americans that we are friends. We are learning from your culture and vice versa. We want to be the partner for the future economy. Looking forward for 2030 when Indonesia becomes the 7th biggest economy. Use Bandung as a gateway to Indonesian economy, either to like UTC made in Bandung but for global products, or you open business in Bandung for Indonesian market, which has 60 million potential market and will be double in next 15 years. So this Technopolis connecting the old city and the new. Before the invention of Technopolis, the area was designed only for real estate only, no edit field. I said no, we need to have to think different logic. So I pushed the developer, we have to think to edit field. By having Technopolis, we will have at least 500,000 jobs coming to my city, and it's all high-tech stuff. So I think while we watch the video, that more or less my review about Bandung, and if you have any questions, something you need to know more than happy to answer. So combination of this old charming Art Deco, of urbanity, Technopolis also to the global market. This is Bandung, yeah, the face of modern Indonesia. Thank you.
On a Saturday to come join us. We've really enjoyed hearing from all of you. My name is Valerie Dowling. We're here with the American Council of Young Political Leaders, and we're spending time in Indonesia this week and Malaysia next week to learn more about all of the exciting things happening here and to take that back with us to the United States. We also represent a great deal of variety in the political process and different political parties as well, so both Republicans and Democrats. And my first question to start us off would be, out of all of the exciting things happening that you've mentioned, from being a smart city to just the happiness index, what are some of the challenges that still remain in spite of all of the things moving forward?
Yes, there's $1 million question. When I started my job as a mayor, number one, I have still 60,000 poor family in poverty. So my biggest challenge is, while I'm doing the high-tech stuff of smart city and technopolis, I have to alleviate poverty. It's still there, a certain percent. So we are creating microcredits projects. We are creating a system called One Village, One Products. Yeah. They don't know how to enter market, but they can produce. So I said to my people, my business people, look, if you have a product, instead of you produce in one big factory, let's distribute the production to homes of poor people. So this means you distribute the productions into small scale production house instead consolidated into one. We need that still like that one to balance the economy. We call it in Indonesia ekonomi kerakyatan, or people's economy, something like that. We have an issue also, the working culture, because I come from professional, I was an architect. Bureaucracy has their own logic. Sometimes in my standards a bit slow, but it's getting better now. There's also an issue in a challenge. Sometimes innovation is not as easy as I thought. Yeah. Before I thought you have innovation, just suddenly you can execute. Now it's too many red tape and procedure that slow innovation. This is a big challenge. So I can say maybe our speed is only 60% from the way I did in the professional work. So that would be the challenge. And also, there is a disparity between Bandung metropolitan and remaining and surrounding cities and municipalities. What happened? They could migrate to here without skills. I cannot close Bandung, yeah, with passport, for example. I cannot do that. But when I check sometime, yeah, so many disturbance, so many issues when I check, they're not come from Bandung, yeah, they're coming from surrounding, in a form of street vendors, in a form of any informal sectors. So that's why it's a bit beyond my capacity. That's why I plead to the government, look, we are open society, but we have to reduce the disparity, to reduce the migration from the poorest region to Bandung, because our standard of economy is higher. But in terms of that, and politics also is always a challenge. Yeah. But we have a very good relation with the parliament. I think so far so good. There is no big issue. Yeah. I think politics is but communicating in a good way. But in Indonesia, kita punya berapa partai, Pak? Yang terdaftar senasional. Yeah, we have 12 parties. Not like US, only 2 parties. And sometimes they're on and off. Yeah, it means we are still searching what is the right recipe for our democracy. So that would be more or less my challenge. Now there is a big challenge also about the way we finance the development. I just learned after 2 years that the way we spend our money is too conventional. This is what happened. Our city budget is $500 million US, very small. Half of the budget goes to salary of the public service and internal. So the money that I can spend for my schools, healthcare, it's only 250 million. time 5 years of my term is only 1.25 billion. But the need to become modern Bandung with this heavy infrastructure is around 8 billion US dollars. So I'm short of 6.75. So I went to United States and I learned there is a municipal bond way of financing the city. But I check also why Detroit also have an issue, yeah? So we want to learn not to follow to that standard. I went to London. London has different way of financing city. They using lots of PPP. So they build school using private money. They build city parks using private money. They build prison using private money. Then the city pay for 30 years install. And that's for me would be our discourse. If Bandung or Indonesia can do the same using PPP, then in a very short time change happen using private money, economy moving, and our limited budget can do the installment very easily, managing the. If not conventional, I can only build school once a year, for example, because of small budget. Waiting another year, building another school, that's too slow. So that's the challenge, yeah, in politics, in existing poverty, in capital. But I'm very optimistic. Hopefully next year, lots of change come to Bandung. It's really we have to reinventing the government. That's my vision. Yang lain, more from you? Question.
Thank you for your presentation and for meeting with us. I'm the one from San Francisco, and also a UC Berkeley graduate.
Oh,
So go Bears. Yeah, there you go. We got that. And you know a lot about San Francisco. So one of the challenges that we're facing in San Francisco is when there's a lot of development and a lot of growth, we're not able to keep up the pace in terms of low-cost housing. And in some cases, a neighborhood will have great increases in the cost of housing, and when that happens, people are forced out and they're not able to afford to live there anymore. Are there similar types of things happening here as parts of the city develop? And how do you make sure that there's enough availability of affordable housing options for residents of the city?
Kalau mau jawab, nambahin silakan. I think we have worse problem than what you stated. The central government of Indonesia, for me, doesn't really have a clear strategy for housing. Yeah, I was an architect, so I learned that firsthand. So when I am mayor now, it's been 2 years, I'm having difficulties just to find the right formula. Why? Because the supply of housing is almost 100% dictated by private developers. When this housing supply dictated majority by private developer, they want profit. When they want profit, affordable housing is never been discussed. So now, what I'm doing, maybe it cannot be representing the whole Indonesia, only Bandung. We now try to find all the asset, the land asset belongs to the government, to be developed into 2 land use only, either public space or public housing. So now we have 13 locations that in the next 2 years will be developed into affordable housing, but the land still belongs to the city government. Because I am having difficulty to ask the private developer to build affordable housing. So this is, I think, where the social justice has to be exercised, is the government has to interfere with these housing supply issues. That's why in Indonesia, people have their own home maybe in the age of 40, sometimes 50 ya. Umur 50 baru punya rumah. Before 40 or 50 they rent a place. It's not good. So we have that issue, but we come up with our own solutions. 13 locations, all the sites belong to the government. We are ada gambar-gambarnya. We are developing all these now, and this year is under the design process of this apartemen rakyat or affordable public housing, and hopefully in the next 2-3 years when it's finished, my people can move from slums to this area. In Indonesia, we learn also sometimes people fake their situation. They pretend to be poor to get these, and at the end they sell again to get profit for investment. So now I'm making local regulation to make sure there is no fraud in application system, to make sure my people who are poor or middle low can live in this decent affordable housing. So to say it's a challenge, yeah. I think I'm saying maybe 40% our urban typology is in kampung type, very dense, yeah. People live, okay, no problem, but to modern standard is not acceptable. So I'm having that challenge. But I'm very excited as an architect mayor. I'm focusing also to solve this problem.
We really appreciate you coming in and sharing about your city with us, and we have a small token of our appreciation for you that we'd like to bring forward.
Ada dua, satu untuk Pak Mayor, ada satu lagi dengan beliau.
This is a tie. The governor of the state of Indiana personally gave me this tie to bring with me to get somebody over here. I thought you were very personal. I'm not sure if you've ever been to Indiana, but it's the state
Ini
flag.
dasi dari Gubernur Indiana, Pak.
It's the state flag.
And the capital of Indiana is
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
Interlocal folks. So, Northern California.
Thank you very much. Oh yeah. I'll give you back. For the thing. Lagi. One more. This legend.
Tadi di sana katanya
Wooden.
di